Comics, and I'm back with another new comic book day best bets of the week for January 29th, 2020. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Get that content out there so you can get my best bets of the week. Before we start, just wanted to give a few shout outs from the people who bought books from me from JB's pop-up shop on Saturday. Comic Phantom, Southern Geek Comics, Mr. Comics 89, Patrick Roundhouse Kelly, Zach Barr, Old Wolf, and Metaphorical. Thanks for purchasing some books on Saturday. I got them all shipped out to you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Alright, so let's get on to this week's. Last week I was a little over budget, ended up being like 31 and change, so hopefully we can get it on the budget for you guys this week. A little bit lighter of a week. Don't believe there's any DC on the lot, so it's going to be more of a Marvel week. So let's get into it. First book, we'll start off with Image, of course. And let's see, the first book is going to be Ice Cream Man number 17. Only because this is really just a cover buy. Haven't been reading Ice Cream Man since really the first arc, but you gotta love this Action Comics number 1 cover swipe. From an investment standpoint, these Action Comics number 1 cover swipes will always garner a little bit of coin later on. And if I'm not mistaken, the book is already sold out on Midtown, so you know what that means. It's a hot book because cover B isn't sold out. So I'm going to add that to the list. And as you know, like the biggest cover swipe books out there is Action Comics and Amazing Spider-Man number 300. So whenever you see those, more so with the Action Comics, they usually, fetch a little bit of money down the road. So that's the first book. Continuing on with Image. There's a number 1 this week I was looking at, and that is Protector number 1. Just the one cover. This is basically referencing in, the near far future, basically if the tribes that dwelled the country took over, it started the future North America. So it's kind of a fun little twist on how it used to be back in the day, where the Native Americans used to basically, were on their own ground. So it's going to be an interesting little twist to see where it goes. I'm going to pick that up. $3.99, add that to the list. The 2 books so far. And I believe that is it for Image. Moving on to Dark Horse, there is 1 book this week. Interested in checking out this Frankenstein Undone number 1. There are 2 covers. Cover A done by Ben Stenbeck, not familiar with the artist. And cover B, of course, you'll know this artist once you see the artwork. And this is Mike Mignola. So growing up reading Frankenstein, and I'm talking about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I was a big fan. This one talks about how if the creator of Frankenstein had died, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, after the death of his creator, Frankenstein searches for a purpose, but a disaster rips him from the realm of Mary Shelley's novel and into the world of Hellboy. Pretty cool premise. I'm going to check that out. Add that to the list. And we are at, so far, let's see, $12 so far, doing pretty good. And that is it for Dark Horse. IDW, I don't believe there's anything I'm looking at this week. Let's see, scrolling through. No, so I was right. Going on to DC, and I'm thinking I'm on the same boat here. There is nothing that really piqued my interest in DC this week. Scrolling on real quick. Nope, that's it for DC. Nothing. Like I said, it's going to be a lighter week. Majority of the books will be coming from Marvel, which was, unlike last week, there was really nothing in Marvel. So, first book in Marvel, it's not going to be Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle. I don't think I've heard anybody even talk about this book. That's just going to be a giant pass. And I find this interesting that they're doing a facsimile for Amazing Spider-Man number 347. Honestly, you can pick this up for $10, the actual cover. I don't understand why they're doing a facsimile for $4. I guess it's just for people who want to, I don't know, just spend the money. It's kind of a waste of money, if you ask me. There is a new Avengers, I guess, mini-series, Avengers of the Wastelands, number 1 of 5. There is, I believe, a first appearance, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, first team appearance of the Avengers of the Wasteland. I don't know. Doesn't really pique my interest. I think it's, I don't know, I just think it's a waste of time. Let me see who's writing this. It's going to be Ed Brisson. So he's a decent writer, but I just honestly don't want to read a book about, Denny Cage, and it's just a weird team up, if you ask me. I don't know. So that's also going to be a giant pass. And there are a bunch of one-shots for the end that they've been doing the last couple of weeks. I did pick up a couple of weeks ago the Miles Morales The End and the Venom The End, which were actually pretty good, and they had some pretty cool covers. But this week, I just think they should have just stopped. They're pushing it with every major character. You got Captain Marvel, you got Deadpool, you got Doctor Strange. I don't know. I just kind of struggle from a collector to read all their last stories. I just really don't care. So that's a giant pass. There are some, let's see, some Dawn of X titles. This Fallen Angels number 6. I think for most of these, I've stopped picking up these issues. There's the Marauders, X-Force, Fallen Angels. Even the X-Men title, I've just stopped reading. I got just sick of the stories. And I think there's just been, I don't know, just got pretty boring to me. Let me know if you guys are still reading those. And as for the next book, it is going to be, yes, Immortal Hulk number 30. And look at this cover by Alex Ross, of course. So I believe there's something, I guess, a small key about this. I believe that the reintroduction of Xenu the Titan. Not too familiar with that character, to be honest. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're gonna do with the story. Since this next story arc from 26 on, I've kind of been like scratching my head a little bit because I don't really know where they're going. It kind of feels like they're building up towards something, so I'm kind of like just gonna stick with it for a few more issues. I was gonna see if it potentially ending it at 30, but it's only 3 more issues away from the big 750, and I think they're gonna really drop something big for that. So sticking it just for a few more issues, and then at 750, if nothing really goes on, which I think there might be something there, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it. But I will be continuing on with it, just like I said, for the 3 more issues at least. So $16 so far. All right, and I think that is it for Marvel, if I'm not mistaken. There is this Ravencroft number 1. I guess it's another continuation of the Absolute Carnage story, which after I think they should have just ended it and that's it. Don't continue it on. To be honest, it's not even written by Donny Cates. It's written by Frank Thierry. I'm just gonna pass. I'm just not. I'm no longer interested. I think I'm just like fatigued with the whole Carnage storyline. To be honest, he's been in Absolute Carnage. He's been in Venom. He's been in so many different stories. It's just like, come on. I think we're just more ready for Noel more so than anything else. So I'm passing on that. And then I believe the last book is going to be Thor #2 for Marvel. And the first issue was crazy. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, just from hearing their reviews. And I'm adding this to the list at $3.99. And I'm kind of excited. It says the Black Winter and the Devourer King. Before him lies the Black Winter. So definitely excited for this issue. And I'm very excited that there are no art germ covers for this. As you know, Thor #1 had a bajillion covers out there, and that Thor #1 cover by Art Germ was just one of his worst works, if you ask me. It looks like Thor went to, Beverly Hills and he got some plastic surgery and he just came out ugly. You look, his face was all mangled up, so I don't know what was that all about. So I'm glad to see that there is no cover by him. You got that cover A, and then you also got that cool design variant. I like these design variants. Um, this is done by Nick Klein, so whatever cover you like. So add that to the list. To the list twice. All right, let me get out of that. And I think there's one more book actually. Oh yes, Weapon Plus World War IV #1. There is a first appearance of here of the Manslaughter, and this is just a wicked cover done by Kyle Hotz. There's also another really nice cover done by Scan, which I believe is already sold out on Midtown. Both covers are just phenomenal. Like I said, there is a first appearance. Add this to the list before I forget. And oh, sorry about that. It's $4.99. There we go. So first appearance of Manslaughter. So look out for that. Might be a little mini key. And the origin of the Weapon 4 program. So all right. It looks pretty interesting. I got a feeling it's going to be on the lower print side. And I'm always a big fan of the Weapons Plus programs, going back to the, I believe it was the Uncanny series. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make this my pick of the week. All right. And we're at 25 bucks. I think there may be one more book I was looking at. Was it in Boom? Nope. Oh, here we go. It's the smaller indies, and I'm gonna add this as my honorable mention, just because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it in my shops. It's usually a hit or miss with these books, but if I can find it, I'll tell you what it is. Shit, did I already pass it? All right, here we go. Apocalypse Girl #1 by Source Point Press. Like I said, it's a smaller publisher, so it's usually a hit or miss when I find these. It's $3.99. I'm going to add this as my honorable mention. It's a pretty cool cover, and a little bit of a futuristic apocalyptic stories. A lot of these have been coming out lately. So that's it. That's it for my books for this week's New Comic Book Day Best Bets of the Week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, for those people I shouted out in the beginning, those books have already been sent out yesterday, so you should be getting them in the next couple of days. But until next time, it's Mark Spector Comics. Out.